Time check! It's English o'clock! Ang pag-aaral ng English upang madaling matutunan, bakit hindi natin simplihan? Halika! Manood at makinig sa English Teacher ni Juan!
Kung bago ka pa lang sa channel na to, huwag kang matakot. I made learning English easy for you. Please like, comment, and subscribe. At pakishare mo na rin sa iba para marami pang mga Juan na gaya mo ang matuto. Hello everyone! I hope everyone is safe and healthy and ready para sa bagong lesson na i-discuss ko ngayon. Our lesson for this video is about modal verbs, nouns, and adverbs. In this lesson, you will learn how to speak with urgency or importance, possibility, and emphasis through the use of modals. You will also learn the different types of modals and their uses. The target most essential learning competency for this video is use modal verbs, nouns, and adverbs appropriately. Let's go straight to the definition of modal. What is modal? Modal is an expression that carries different shades of meaning. We will explain this further by discussing its three types. We have the modal verb, modal noun, and modal adverb. Let's talk about modal verbs first. Modal verbs are auxiliary or helping verbs which modify or change the meaning of the main verbs. They are used with other verbs to express ability, obligation, possibility, and so on. Upang mas lalo kang maging pamilyar, ang modal verbs sa Filipino ay mga salitang malapandiwa na ginagamit sa pagpapahayag ng kagustuhan. Gusto kong sumakay sa eroplano. Posibilidad. Maaari akong sumakay sa eroplano. Kakayahan. Kaya kong sumakay sa eroplano. Pahintulot. Maaari ba akong sumakay sa eroplano? Obligasyon. Kailangan kong sumakay sa eroplano. Now, below is a list showing the most useful modals and their most common meanings in English. Modal. Can. Meaning. To express ability. Example. I can speak a little Tagalog. Can. To request permission. Can I open the window? May. To express possibility. I may be home late. May. To request permission. May I sit down, please? Must. To express obligation. I must go now. Must. To express strong belief. She must be over 90 years old. Should. To give advice. You should stop smoking. Would. To request or offer. Would you like a cup of tea? Would. In if sentences. If I were you, I would say sorry. Modal verbs are unlike other verbs. They do not change their form or spelling, and they have no infinitive or participle. The modals must and can need substitute verbs to express obligation or ability in the different tenses. Here are some examples. Past simple. Sorry I'm late. I had to finish my math test. Present perfect. She has had to return to Korea at short notice. Future. You will have to work hard if you want to pass the exams. Infinitive. I don't want to have to go. Past simple. I couldn't or I wasn't able to walk until I was 3 years old. Present perfect. I haven't been able to solve this problem. Can you help? Future. I'm not sure if I will be able to come to your party. Infinitive. I would love to be able to play the piano. Modals are auxiliary verbs. They do not need an additional auxiliary in negatives or questions. For example, must I come? It can't be, do I must come? Or, he shouldn't smoke, and not, he doesn't should smoke. Here are other examples including their functions in sentences. Use, permission. Modal, can, may, could, might. Sample sentence. May I borrow your pen? No permission. Can't, cannot. May not, must not. You cannot go out without a quarantine pass. Offer. Will, shall. I will bring your things here. Request. Will, would, could. Will you open the windows? Promise. Will. I will come back after sunset. Decision. Will. I will eat now. Advice and suggestion. Shall, should, shouldn't or should not. You should wear appropriate attire for your job interview. Ability. Can, could. The students can sing harmoniously. General truth. Can, may. We can avoid the COVID-19 by following health protocols. Really certain. Will, shall, must, won't or will not, shan't or shall not, can't or cannot. Jana's debut party will be planned secretly. Very likely. Should, ought to. The traffic is not heavy. We should be there before the time. Possibility. May, might, could. It may rain today. Strong obligation. Must, have to, need to. The plan must be accomplished without her knowing it. Weak obligation. Should, ought to. I should see a dentist. I have a bad breath even though I brush my teeth regularly. No obligation. Needn't or need not. Don't need to do or do not need to. Don't have to or do not have to. I need not brush my teeth now. I will just do it later. Punta naman tayo ngayon sa pagtalakay tungkol sa modal noun. Modal nouns are nouns that express modality. Just like the modal verbs, modal nouns also express the quality or state in some manner other than as a simple fact. The modal nouns are mostly names of qualities or states. They are similar to modal verbs in a way that they also express modal meaning. However, they are different from modal verbs in the way they are used in a sentence. Modal verbs are used to add information to the main verb, while modal nouns name a quality, state, or condition that state modality. Read the table below that shows more examples of modal nouns, their meanings, and sample sentences. Modal noun. Possibility. Meaning, the condition or fact of being possible. Sample sentence. There is a possibility of rain tomorrow. Obligation. A condition or feeling of being obligated or required. Students have an obligation to study hard. Necessity. The quality or state of being in need. Nowadays, mobile phones are considered a necessity. Ability. The quality or state of being able. I have a friend who has the ability to read minds. Permission. the right or ability to do something given by someone who has the power to allow or disallow. My brother is given permission to play. Request. The condition or state of being requested or sought after. The sick lady sent a request for medical assistance. Promise. A declaration to do or refrain from doing something. It is important that when we make a promise, we keep it. Chance. The condition or fact of a particular outcome in an uncertain situation. If Tony works hard, he has a big chance of succeeding. Requirement. A condition that something is needed or must be done. During the pandemic, quarantine pass is a requirement if one will go to the grocery store. Responsibility. The quality or state of being responsible. It is the parents' responsibility to provide for their children. Capacity. The quality or state of being able to do something. I believe my teacher has the capacity to teach us online. Let's proceed to the modal adverbs, but first, let us talk about the meaning of adverbs alone. You probably remember that adverbs are used to modify verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs. Adverbs can tell you more information about a verb, such as how something is done, or when or to what extent. Some examples of adverbs used in sentences are: A. If Jane works hard, she shall surely or certainly get the title in the pageant. Surely modifies the modal expression shall get, which shows certainty. Letter B. Jane's friends are eagerly rooting for her to win. Eagerly modifies the verb phrase are rooting to add emphasis. Letter C. The people will likely or possibly vote for Jane in an online survey. Likely modifies the modal verb expression will vote that shows possibility. Modal adverbs are a specific group of adverbs that add additional meaning to modal verbs. They are used to modify specific verbs that consist of a linking verb or verb of being and sometimes another verb. Previously, we learned that modal verbs include can, could, may, might, must, shall, should, will, and would. Adverbs that modify these verbs say something about possibility, certainty, and emphasis. Look at these sentences. The italicized words are the modal adverbs, while the underlined words are the modal verbs they modify. I really might be going to the party on Saturday. Surely, you can't mean to vote for that candidate. It is likely that Matt will get an A in chemistry. One way of thinking about modal adverbs is to consider how likely is something to happen. Here are a few more sentences using modal adverbs to add to the meaning. That controversial amendment surely won't pass. Undoubtedly, the huge number of protests have had an effect on support for the amendment. Can you recognize the connection between verb and adverb in those sentences? In the first sentence, the adverb surely modifies the verb will not or won't. In the second sentence, undoubtedly at the beginning of the sentence actually modifies have had, which appears later. This explanation about modal adverbs were all taken from this website called study.com. These are more examples taken from DepEd module from Division of Bulacan. Modal adverb. Possibly. Meaning. Used to state that something is possible to happen. Sample sentence. My mother is possibly coming home today. Certainly. in a manner that is sure or without a doubt. I am certainly joyful that my family is always with me. Obligately, in an obligate or necessary manner. My father is obligately proud to work hard for our family. Necessarily, used to state that something is necessary or needed. Lola said that a person's success does not necessarily reflect one's personality towards other people. Ably, in a skillful or competent manner. Tonton dances ably during the party. Requisitely, used to state something that is essential or important for a particular purpose. I have to requisitely answer my homework. Promisingly, in a promising manner. The concert started promisingly, but it did not maintain the interest of its audience. Decidedly, in a manner that is free from doubt. My sister is decidedly supportive of my hobby. Responsibly, in a responsible manner. The police responsibly helped the old man cross the road. Permissively, used to state something that is granted or given permission. I played permissively with my friends. So again, modal verbs are used to add information to the main verb. On the other hand, modal nouns name a quality, state, or condition that state modality, while modal adverbs describe or give more meaning or information to modal verbs and specific verbs that consist of a linking verb or verb of being and sometimes another verb.
So did you learn something today? Sure ako na hindi ka na nosebleed. If you want more of this video tutorial and learn English in a light speed, huwag kalimutang mag-subscribe at i-turn on ang notification button para updated ka sa mga bagong lessons. Ako ang teacher mo, ang English teacher ni Juan. Class dismissed! See ya!